transition on Atlantic Television Network. PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologun Agbo says the circulated list of caretakers committee members for Rivers State, which is signed and circulating in the media, is authentic. This is coming after the list of caretaker committee members for Rivers PDP published in the media shows some additional names and some executive members were not included, which compel Governor Fubara to describe it as a fake list. But in a media chat, the PDP National Publicity Secretary says Rivers people should disregard the list that's not published on the dailies and at the party's website, adding that the above clarification means a statement by Governor Fubara is not the party's position, while the published lists are the authentic officials of the party. Rivers State Police Command has confirmed the arrest of Sobomabo Jack Rich, the governorship candidate of the National Rescue Movement in the 2023 general elections. According to the State Command, the arrest was carried out by a sister security agency. Public Relations Officer of the command, Grace Ringikoko, confirmed this in a statement to journalists on Monday, stating that 2 individuals lost their lives during the operation, which took place in Degema local government area of the state. Earlier, there was a report that Jack Rich had been taken away by individuals wearing military uniforms. The operation was said to have lasted for hours and resulted in the death of 2 aides to the NRM governorship candidate. Tamuno Imiabo and Sinere Jack Rich, SP Ringikoko said the security agency responsible for the operation is expected to transfer the case file to the police for further investigation. Rivers State Police Command has gone down the kingpin fueling cultism and other related crimes in the state. A statement by the police public relations officer SP Grace Ringikoko said a team of police officers were deployed to the Ogbologbo community in Hawuda West local government area to bring an end to the reign of terrors of one Ikem Tangod, popularly known as General Tuman. General Tuman, a close ally of the now neutralized Tubaba, and General Odireke was a terror in the Ahuda West local government area and neighboring local government areas. He had carried out a lot of kidnapping activities within and outside the Ahuda West local government area, Rivers State. Commissioner of Police Tunji Delsus, while commending the tactical team for their efforts, reinstated his commitment to fighting crimes in the state and urged members of the public to feed the police with reliable information and that could lead to the arrest of the fleeing suspects and other criminal elements in the state. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says his administration would not prosecute opposition political parties for criticizing him. The governor asked such parties to freely criticize and engage his administration to offer credible opposition in the state. Fubara said the opposition political parties had already acknowledged that elections were over and resolved to offer effective support required to advance good governance in the state. The governor disclosed this when he hosted the leadership of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Rivers State Chapter at Government House in Port Harcourt. Fubara, in a statement by his Chief Press Secretary, Nelson Chukudi, urged people to freely voice their opinion without intimidation. People's Democratic Party in Bayelsa State has won all the 105 wards in the local government election conducted by the State Independent Electoral Commission. PDP won the chairmanship position in all 8 local government areas and all the councillorship position in the 105 ward following the result announced by the commission in Yenagoa. The major opposition party in the state, the All Progressives Congress, shone the poll as it did not fire candidates. In Yenagoa LGA, the Vice's return officers Wisdom Oser declared Bulu Disire Ndiwari as a winner after the poll. He polled 103 votes. She polled a total of 51,543 votes in Obia local government area. The returning officer team Odio Dumo declared Gordon Jeremiah, who polled 42,462 votes, as the winner. Public affairs analyst Andy Okboitif said Senator Omo Agege prediction about the All Progressive Congress taking over 2027 election in the outer state are mere assertion without any viable evidence or political structure. Speaking on Atlantic Open Conversation, Okboitif maintained that Nigerian political industry is based on whose politician or political groups that control the largest amount of fund and influence.
Going to happen. So there's nothing absolutely wrong with the prediction. But you see, when a prediction is sitting on what is not founded, when the prediction is not sitting on a great foundation, you would only call it a prediction, as it were. Because what structures are in place? You know, I've continued to maintain that in Nigeria, it is not individuals that win elections per se. It is structures that win elections. And you would have seen how that the current battle in Rivers State is about who holds the levers of the structure in Rivers State. Essentially, if you looked into Delta State and you wanted to, you know, confirm whether this prediction is what is possible, all you needed to do would be for you to go look at the people who are currently holding the structure and who are the people oiling this.
He also says godfatherism is one of the challenges hindering the constitutional discharge and outcome of electoral exercise in the country.
Civilized as other political systems. Even though other political systems are even civilized, money still plays a very important role in determining who becomes what. How did Donald Trump become president in America? We saw how that he moved monies around. He moved his influence everywhere. His weight was so heavy that the American populace decided for him. And I even see something happening like that again, because whether you like it or not, even the Bible has said it, that money answereth all things. Particularly in politics, there's nothing money cannot answer. In politics, in Nigerian politics, money answers everything. It can get your opponent to, you know, defect to you the next day. It can get your sworn enemy on the other camp to say you are the godfather. In Rivers State, I never believed that the spokesperson of APC was ever going to move to PDP. You know the spokesperson I'm talking about now? You know, the very erudite, wonderful spokesperson who we saw, you know, in front of the green door, the brown door with a wiki. We never expected it. Money indeed answers all things in Nigeria.
Edo State Governor Godswill Obaseki has sworn in Omo Bayo Marvelous Godswill as the new deputy governor of the state. Omo Bayo replaced Philip Shaibu, who was earlier impeached by the State House of Assembly on Monday. This is coming after Shaibu was impeached by the House of Assembly after the adoption of the report of the Justice S.A. Omaonwa-led impeachment panel. The panel was set up by the Chief Judge of the Edo State to investigate allegations of misconduct and perjury against Shaibu, and while 18 out of the 20 lawmakers that attended the plenary on Monday, April 8, 2024, voted in favor of the impeachment, only one voted against. Philip Shaibu says his impeachment as the Edo State Deputy Governor is illegal and a threat to the nation's democracy. In reaction via a video shared on his ex-handle, Shaibu denounced the impeachment, and this is coming after the Edo State House of Assembly on Monday impeached the embattled Deputy Governor, Comrade Philip Shaibu. The impeachment follows the adoption of the report of the 7-man investigative panel set up by the Assembly to probe allegation of misconduct against Shaibu. The impeachment proceeding culminated in the dramatic vote that saw Shaibu ousted from his position. The proceedings were initiated earlier this week. Abia State government has announced plan to clear salary arrears on medical doctors in the state by the previous administrations. This is coming barely 1 week after the state government said it spent 10 billion to defer pensions arrears of the pensioners. Commissioner for Health Dr. Ngozi Okoronkwo disclosed this during a press conference Monday at Government House, Umuahia, by the Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, which is one of the 10 days medical mission in the state. She also said that the government has decided to increase the wage of health workers in the state to motivate them for their effective service delivery. This, according to her, is part of strategies by the state government to end the continued migration of health workers in search for greener pastures abroad. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Anambra State Command, says it has deployed over 951 personnel to protect worship centers across the state during the Eid Fitr celebration. State Command Marco Olutunde, who disclosed this in Akwa through an operational order issued to all areas commanders and divisional officers, head of information and tactical unit, instructing them to ensure sufficient security coverage and peaceful conduct of the Salah celebration in the state, said the move was made to tighten the noses around criminals and their henchmen across the state. Olatunde urged residents to be vigilant and observe security and safety tips, advising them not to engage in any acts capable of breaching peace in the state and to report any suspicious activities to the NSCDC. Ikeja Special Offences Court has detained the embattled former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godswill Emefiele, in the custody of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission after he took his plea over alleged abuse of office and allocation of $4.5 billion to 2.8 billion naira. Emefiele, who was earlier arraigned alongside his co-defendants, one Henry Isioma Omole, on fresh 26 counts before Justice Rahman Oshodi pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. The defendant's lawyer, Ella Bolawell, however, pleaded with the court to grant Emefiele bail in self-recognize and allow him to continue with the bail earlier granted him by the Abuja court, while the prosecution counsel Rotimi Oyedepo did not oppose the bail applications. But Justice Oshodi, after listening to the submissions of both counsel, rendered Emefiele to EFCC custody and the second defendant to the Ikoyi Correctional Centers and adjourned the case till April 11 for ruling on the bail and commencement of trial. Lagos Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has named UK-based Nigeria Pelumi Nubi, who drove from Lagos to London, as Lagos Tourism Ambassador. He said this during his meeting with the travel content creator. The governor also offered to cover the cost of the travel while gifting her a new apartment and a car. Senior Special Assistants on new media to Governor Sanwo-Olu, Jubre Gwawat, announced this in a post on his social media handle. You are watching the transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on The Fact Today, only on ATN.
Welcome back. This is The Transition on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. Deadly car crash has killed 6 persons, while 20 others sustained various degrees of injuries in 3 separate accidents across Ogun State, while 26 others escaped death from the crashes. Spokesperson for the Ogun State Command of Federal Road Safety Corps, Florence Okbe, in a statement said the face crash that occurred at Ifediwo along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway claimed 2 lives, while 2 others were injured. The accident involved a Toyota bus and another Golf car without a registration number. Sector Commander, FRSC Ogun Sector Command, Anthony Uga, also has advised motorists to drive cautiously and have enough rest to avoid fatigue. Under Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has commenced the contribution of federal government palliatives to farmers in the state. The 40 trailers of grain are to be distributed to livestock farmers across the 18 local government area of the state. Aiyedatiwa said the measures was to address escalating food price in the country. The governor said the Committee on Agriculture and Food Security Tax will be taking immediate action in response to rising food prices has been set up. He also said his administration has embarked on projects aimed at improvised market access through construction of rural roads and empowerment of smallholders farmers through training, capacity building, including access to credit. Aiyedatiwa said agriculture has contributed to the state economy, saying the state supplies 75% of tomato to market in Lagos State. Benue State Governor Reverend Hyacinth Halia has announced a 10 million naira bounty for anyone with useful information that would lead to the arrest of suspects who recently attacked the Maiduguri residence of members representing Kastina Allah Okomalogo Federal Constituency, Solomon Wombo. This is coming after the hoodlums had on Saturday attacked the residence of the federal lawmakers. The gunmen, after invading the residence, demanded to know the whereabouts of the lawmaker. A statement issued by his Chief Press Secretary, Sir Tariso Kula, condemned the attack, adding that his administration would not watch criminals terrorize innocent people in the state, adding that the government will do everything in its power to ensure the suspects are arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law. They charged security agencies in the state to work tirelessly to locate the suspects and bring them to book. Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, has ordered the closure of the Abuja International Conference Center on 8 April 2024 for rehabilitation in 8 months, while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is gradually achieving its promises to transform the Federal Capital Territory. The minister, who disclosed this while inspecting the center in Abuja, saw the reason for renovation was because the center does not match the standard of an international conference center.
So many leaders meant well, but those of us who have the opportunity to be those that will benefit from it at the end of the day, we sit back the whole essence of good leadership. I told you we came here for the ECOWAS inauguration sometimes last week by Mr. President. No right-thinking human being for an international location of that nature will see the state of this facility and will be happy. In fact, during that inauguration, Mr. President called my attention. Even the lighting system was so poor. Well, going around, you and I know that it is unacceptable. There's no way we can accept this as an international conference center. You can call it a conference center, but not international. There's no standard compared. So we decided that we can't continue to be embarrassed in this way. So we will not accept that. We have called the original contractor that built this edifice, that is the Julius Berger, to come back. Because if we have brought a new contractor, it will take us time. Looking at the design, oh, we don't have the drawing, this and that. But they still have the design and the drawing, so that they can come here. We believe that in the next 7-8 months, we should be able to do something that people will appreciate. And then that means the FCDA will not take over the rehabilitation through the Rosberger, and then when they finish, they hand over to Abuja Investment Company. But it will be a different system now. Now where somebody will be sitting and milking the country, and nobody will want to say anything. So this is where we are.
He also said all events recently booked to take place at the International Conference Center should be cancelled and no other activities should take place except renovation for the period of 8 months.
So we're sorry to announce this. Every booking meant to be used here is cancelled because we'll start immediate rehabilitation of this center to meet up with international standard. So that when you come, you tell people you are going to the International Conference Center, you'll be happy. And yes, there will be nobody will have to manage. We're not going to allow anybody to use it again for the next 7-8 months until when the job is completed. I'm not here to probe anybody. I don't want to begin to find excuses why the jobs are not doing well. The managing director of Abuja Investment Company knows what to do. Mine is to give the country a B15 International Conference Center. And if she does not do it well, we have no choice to wear the big stick, you know. But I believe she has the capacity to run it well. So I'm not here to prove anybody. I just want to move on and let the work be done.
Operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has raided criminal hideout and arrested 85 suspects. A statement signed by the Police Public Relations Officer SP Josephine Ade said the officers stormed some identified black spot and criminal hideout in Durumi and Day houses of Abuja. She disclosed that the illegal structures and shanties used to peddle hard drugs and manufacture counterfeit currency will be demolished. Ade stated that all the arrested suspects would be screened while those found culpable would be profiled and arraigned in the court. She added that the Commissioners of Police FCT CP Bennett C. Igwe reassured residents of his commitment to flush out criminals from FCT and ensure the safety of all. He also urged residents to be vigilant and report suspicious movements to the police. Operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command has arrested the leader of an armed robbery gang, Chukwu Emeka Oputa, popularly known as Pound and Dollar. He said he will be responsible for the series of armed robbery and other heinous crimes in the FCT. The statement by FCT Police Command Public Relations Officer Josephine Ade said the 38-year-old Oputa was arrested on April 4, 2024. His arrest is consequent upon the apprehension of Moses Hassan of Ida, Kogi State, in corporate and members' courts, a member of the armed robbery gang, and the several exhibitions such as 4 local fabricated AK-47 rifles, 3 local-made rifles using cartridge, an English pistol, 1 local-made pistol, a Dana gun, and 3 AK-47 ammunitions, a 5.56 mm assault ammunition, and an empty cartridge were recovered from the suspects. Analyst Amaka Onochie has blamed the Abuja food truck loads on the high cost of living and hardship faced by the citizens across the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Society Watch, Onochie said hungry citizens would also work on their instincts to survive following the current hardship so far.
It's hardship, you know, a hungry man is an angry man. People are hungry. People are so hungry. They've exhausted their savings. You understand? So there are acts of desperation. This is just desperation. Can you imagine the crowd? You see the crowd of people trooping in to loot, to attack, to get, to grab. It's just desperation. People are so hungry. And this inflation subsidy, it's not even helping matter at all. It's not helping matter at all. And as in basically saying that the security personnel aren't aware, no. They are aware. They know what's happening. They know what's going on. It just
Namaka Ochie also blamed the government for failure to meet the needs of the masses.
It's just that the government has failed in its course. The government has failed to look into the matters they're supposed to look into. So people are now acting based on instincts, and that's simply what survival instincts.
This is coming after residents of Abuja recently attacked and looted a truck carrying food items in the Day area. Niger State Governor Mohammed Umaru Bago has reassured all citizens of the state that his administration will not leave anything to chance in securing lives and property. The governor, in his El Difite message to the Muslim faithful signed by his chief press secretary, Bologi Ibrahim, said even some of the initially displaced persons in the state are safely returning to their ancestral homes. While congratulating the Muslim faithful world over of the successful completion of this year's Ramadan fast and the El Difite celebration, and urged them to remain steadfast in the worship of Allah and to follow the teachings of the Quran and the Hindis Dago, also tasked the Muslims Ummah to continue in their prayers for ensuring peace in the state and the nation. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris has commenced the distribution of grains as part of a comprehensive intervention programs with the federal government. It's implementing to caution hardship in the land and revamp the Nigerian economy for sustainable development and property for all citizens. He disclosed this during a flag off of the release of 42,000 metric tons of assorted food commodities from the National Strategic Food Reserve across the country to valuable Nigerians to cushion the effect of the rising cost of food commodities. The minister said President Bola Tinubu is concerned about rising food price and determined to make essential food available and affordable for Nigerians, which is why he approved the distribution of 42,000 metric tons of assorted grains, including sorghum, millet, and maize, and 60,000 metric tons of rice through millers. Principal and Examination Officer of Government Day Secondary School, Shelu Dago in Jalingo, the capital of Taraba State, has been suspended for misconduct. Their suspension, which was contained in a letter issued by the State Ministry of Education, followed an alleged attempt by the duo to sabotage the free education policy of the state governor, Dr. Agbe Kefas. The principal, who was identified as Haruna Joshua Asembo, and the examination officer Ezekiel Rimam-Sikwe, were alleged to have been selling the West African Examination Certificates and National Examination Certificate exams slotted to external candidates for personal gain. The ministry noted that both examinations were meant to be free of charge for all intended students in the state. The state government, it will be recalled, that released funds for the payment of both WAEC and NECO. National Drug Law Enforcement agencies in Kaduna State arrested no fewer than 319 suspects across the state between January and March 2024 for various drugs offenses. And the commander in the state, Abubakar Idris Ahmad, who made this known in an interview with NAN on Monday, said the agency also seized 4.7 tons of illicit drugs. According to him, the suspects were 305 males and 14 females. He said about 2.3 kg of marijuana and 2.4 kg of substance were seized from the suspect within the period of the arrest. According to him, in the 3 months, the command secured 33 convictions of individuals involved in drugs trafficking and other drug-related offenses. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 election, Peter Obi, says the country needs to tackle the devastating effects of poverty and insecurity in the northern regions of Nigeria through agriculture and industrial revolution. Obi said this when he paid a courtesy visit to the Emir of Zazu in Kaduna State, Ambassador Nuhu Bamili, as part of his ongoing tour on the north. The LP chieftains lamented that the majority of the vast arable land in the north are uncultivated, while most of the industries in the region have been shut down due to lack of political will and inconsistent government economic policies. He also said the current socio-economic instability in the country requires that all citizens and leaders come together and see how the solution could be salvaged. Zamfara State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed 700 of its personnel to provide adequate security during the and after the El-Difite celebration in the state. The commandant disclosed this when he received an award by the Public Relations Unit of the Corps in the State Command as an icon administrator. The State Commandant Sani Mustafa said all the units and formation of the Corps must ensure adequate policing to forestall any form of security breach. He said marketplaces and motor parks must be secured adequately, pointing out that the Corps is poised to brave up security in the state while all the flashpoints would be covered, adding that his goal is to make Zamfara a criminal-free state in the country. Sultan of Sokoto Alhaji Saad Abubakar said Wednesday is a day of Eid Fitr. The Sultan, who is the President General of Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, said the decision follows a report of National Moon Sighting Committee across the country, which confirmed the non-sighting of the new moon. A statement signed by the chairman of the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs to the Sultanate Councils, Professor Zambo Jonadus and Sokoto, said a council accepts the report and accordingly declared Wednesday, April 10, 2024, as a feast day of Shawwal 1445 AH. Federal government has declared Thursday, April 11, 2024 as additional public holiday to commemorate El-Difite. A statement signed by a Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Dr. Ashitu Ndayeko, shared on this Ministry X account, adding that the ascension of the Shawwal has not been cited, indicating that the fasting will continue on Tuesday. He also added that the El-Difite would not hold on Wednesday, April 10, to mark the beginning of the new Islamic month. The federal government has earlier Sunday declared Tuesday and Wednesday, April 9 and 10, 2024 as public holiday to mark the El-Difite celebration. Presidency has unveiled its citizens delivery trackers to provide a strong feedback loop between citizens and government on the 8 priority areas of Bola Tinubu's administration. President Special Advisor to Policy and Coordination Hadiza Bala Usman disclosed this in a co-live event of the CDT Holdings in Abuja. Bala Usman said Monday's unveiling is the accumulation of a month-long process since Tinubu's announced plans for ministerial assessment at the cabinet retreat for ministers and head of government agencies last November. In reaching the key performance indicator, the presidential aide explained the CDCU holds numerous bilateral relation meetings with ministry departments and agency within 6 months. The 8 priority areas are reform the economic to deliver sustained inclusive growth, strengthen national security for peace and prosperity, boost agriculture to achieve food security, and unlock energy and natural resources for sustainable development, among others. Nigerian Labour Congress says it has removed the National Convention that returned the nation chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure, and his National Working Committee. Rising from a meeting of the stakeholders to fill the vacuum, the stakeholders said the Congress will set up a transition committee to oversee the affairs of the party pending when a new officer will be elected in 3 months. The resolution taken by the unionists have also raised concern on the need to conduct a forensic audit of LP bank accounts in line with the demand of its presidential candidate Peter Obi following allegations of corruption, forgery and fraud leveled against the leadership of the party. This is coming after the vote of no confidence was passed on Abure's and his NWC few hours after scores of LP supporters took to the streets of Abuja to protest harassment and continuous interference in the affairs of the party. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is probing 50 bank accounts as is recovered 30 billion naira in a case of the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Beta Edu, and the ongoing probe of Ministry over alleged money laundering. The document authorized by the EFCC Chairman Ola Olukayode said the recovered 30 billion is now in the federal government's coffer, and the EFCC also called for the United Front in the fight against corruption, while urging the judiciary and the legislative arm to assist the Commission in its anti-corruption fight and also appeal to their conscience because the negative impact of the corruption is all over for all to see. Executive Chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olukayode, has called on youth to shun cybercrimes and other forms of criminality. Olukayode, in a post on EFCC officials page, made this call in Benin City, Edo State, while speaking on the program Youth Empowerment Against Cybercrimes organized by Cyber Security Education Initiatives. EFCC boss, who was represented by Williams Oshegale, head of the Public Affairs Department, Benin Zonal Command, warned the youth to stay away from the cybercrimes as the consequences were draftful. He said that there was no shortcut to wealth and urged the youth to use the internet to innovate and create positive economic growth. Federal High Court in Abuja has detained the Binance executive Tigran Bambayan in Kuje Correctional Center pending the determination of his bail application. The trial judge Justice Emeka Wite, who discloses after the order after Gambayan pleaded no guilty to the money laundering charges preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The judge subsequently adjourned the matter till April 18 for the ruling on his bail application and May 2nd for commencement of trial. Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted sunshine and thunderstorm from Monday to Wednesday. NIMET's weather outlook released on Sunday in Abuja forecast as sunny and hazy atmosphere over parts of Yobe and Borno State, with chance of thunderstorm over parts of the KB. According to NIMET, the remaining part of the north should be sunny and patchy of cloud during the morning periods. Sunny sky with few cloud patches are expected over the north-central region and prospects of isolated thunderstorm over parts of Niger, Kwara and Benue during the morning hours. NIMET envisage the south to be clouded with spells of sunshine and chances of isolated thunderstorm over parts of Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Delta, Edo, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River States during the morning hours. House of Representatives says it is designing an intervention plan to the recent increase in electricity tariff by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission upon its resumption on April 23, 2024. Deputy Speaker Benjamin Carlos said the parliament would find a way to resolve the issues. This is coming after the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission on April 3rd an upward review of electricity tariff for consumers in Branch A who enjoy 20 hours of daily power supply by 240% to 225 per kilowatts. As from 608 per kilowatts, why the hike generated public outcry, as many believe it would worsen the hardship in the country. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Deputy Speaker, Mr. Livinus Wabohigu, quoted Carlo as saying that the parliament will continue to conduct its affairs with the interests of Nigerians in mind, adding that the onus was on the people to participate fully in the process, while the National Assembly would help amplify their voices. And now to business news. Coalition for Affordable and Regular Electricity has condemned what is called the proactive hike in electricity tariff for Ban A customers, calling on leaders of pro-masses organizations to mobilize workers and community people for a struggle to resist the policy. The group said there was hardly any community exclusively for the rich, and the government claimed that the hike was targeted at the rich. A statement by the National Coordinator of Care, Chinedu Bosha, said there are many workers, pensioners, and urban poor people who are resident or shop owners in communities that will be adversely affected by the tariff hike. Bosha said the lack of stable electricity for industries was one major reason why companies closed down and relocated abroad, contributing to the high unemployment rate, adding that the agenda was also to create an apartheid-style electricity distribution system entrenched in massive exploitation. Central Bank of Nigeria has again declared the sale of dollar to bearers the change operators. CBN disclosed this in a circular uploaded to its website, saying that it is set to sell $10,000 to each BDCs at $1,101 and directed the operators to sell at a spread not more than 1.5% above the CBN rate. Similarly, the Central Bank of Nigeria has written to all banks in Nigeria to stop the use of foreign currencies as collateral for Nigerian loan in the circular in its website. The Ape Bank also said it has observed the use of FCY by bank customers as collateral for Nigerian loan and therefore prohibit it with immediate effect. Total inflow into the foreign exchange market has risen by about 42% last month to hit its highest level in the past 5 years as domestic and foreign investors continue to react positively to the nation's macroeconomic reforms. Data from the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market shows that the foreign inflow has sustained double-digit growth. NFCM data obtained from the NFMDQ show that the inflows rose by 41.7%, which translated to move from $2.64 billion in February to $3.75 billion last month, the highest level since March 2019. The upsurge was driven by a significant increase in supply from both domestic and foreign sources, while the allies are notably driven by the non-government sources, with less inflow from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The breakdown shows that domestic sources accounted for 59% of total transactions, while foreign sources contributed 41%. Nigeria is set to receive a $1.5 billion syndicate loan backed by oil from the African Export-Import Bank next month. The loan is part of the larger $3.3 billion prepayment facility arranged by the African Bank, with repayments tied to crude cargoes from the Nigerian National Petroleum Companies Limited. Afrim's Bank Senior Executive Vice President for Finance, Administration and Banking, Dennis Denya, confirmed the verification of crude availability, paving the way for the final release of the balance within the month. The lone arm at retrieving Nigeria's economic and enhancing the supply of hard currency in the local foreign exchange market. A substantial position of its two-thirds was already disbursed in January. This financial maneuver is designed to provide Nigerians with immediate fund based on future oil production, offering a lifetime to the country's struggling economy. Emirates Airlines has concluded plans to resume flights with Nigeria. This followed numerous visits from President Bola Tinubu to UAE over the communication breakdown between both countries. The Minister of Aviation and Airspace Development, Festus Kayamo, said the Emirates Airline has already indicated its readiness in a letter sent to the Nigerian government. Kayamo said the transfer during the earlier visit and resolution was not fake but was presented in a hashy manner. Apart from Emir suspending flights to Nigeria in 2022, the UAE Immigration Department notified its trade partners and travel agencies that it was stopping visa application from 22 countries, 20 of which are African nations. Still ahead, international tidbits. Israeli military has announced the killing of Hezbollah commander during an overnight airstrike in Lebanon. Ali Hassini of Hezbollah's allied Red War force was eliminated by the Israelis jet in the Asotaya area in southern Lebanon. In a statement issued on Monday, the Israeli military accused Hassani of attack against its forces in recent months. Condemning the attack, the United Nations Special Coordinator for Lebanon, Jonah Roweka, and the commander of the UN peacekeeping mission in Lebanon, Arodo Lazaro, said the violence must stop. Meanwhile, dozens of rockets has been launched from Lebanon into the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights. Makeshift ferry boats sank off the north coast of Mozambique, killing 96 persons, including children. According to officials' report on Monday, the convicted fishes boat carrying about 130 people ran into trouble late on Sunday as it was trying to reach an island of Mapula province. Most of those on board were trying to escape the mainland because of the panic caused by the disinformation about cholera, according to the Mapula Secretary of State, Jamin Neto. Rescuers has found 11 survivors and search operators are continuing. Earlier officials have said 91 people lost their lives. The Southern African country, one of the world poorest, has recorded most 15,000 cases of cholera and 32 deaths since October, according to government data. Republican President candidate Donald Trump said abortion rights should be left up to U.S. states to decide. A statement came after question and the swelling for the week over what his stance would be on the issues. Trump's rival for the White House, U.S. President Joe Biden, is a devout Catholic, but as president has stood firm in his support for the abortion access. Democrat has been leaning strongly into the issues, characterizing Trump as the architect of attack on reproductive rights, which vowing to reinstate Joe. In his video, Trump repeated earlier comments said, like former Presidents Donald Reagan, when it comes to abortion, it is strongly in favor or the exception for rape, incest, and the life of the mother. Pope Francis has announced abortion and the carrying of children by surrogate mothers as grave offenses against human dignity. In a declaration of the principle published by the Veteran on Monday, the head of the Catholic Church also described gender reassignment and gender theory. Pope said, gender theory is an offense against what he said was a God-given dignity of human beings. According to the documents, a human being, whether unborn or not, is always something sacred and inviolable. The battalion latest declarations draw a panel between abortion and surrogacy when a woman carries a child on behalf of someone else and then give it to them after the birth. And that's the size of the package. I am Immaculata Erikana. Thanks for joining us. You can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok at Atlantic TV Network 1, X at Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.